Hey there, I'm Robbie Legume, and my whole life I've been obsessed with understanding the secrets behind games, uncovering mysterious areas and unused content, fascinating details, and developer secrets. And as a game developer myself, I can explain some of the weird things that I find and why I think the devs did what they did. So crack open a health potion, because this is NoClip Nomad. Even 5 years after its release, players keep digging up details and secrets in CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077 with more added every day. I absolutely love this game and the detail put into it. It has such a nostalgic connection because I used to play the tabletop game. But even without that nostalgia, there's so many details in the game, it's absolutely amazing. And I want to use a couple of mods here and explore a few things that I think are really interesting. Before we delve into specifics, let's look at a few things that happen when time's frozen. First, some spark animations don't really work properly. They leave really long trails because the renderer doesn't really know how to handle it. Similarly, the process that handles animations gets a little freaked out when time stops, so you'll see objects sort of shuddering around a little bit. Kind of makes it look like an overexcitable terrier. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Yes, you are. Part of the way through the game, you take on the role of Johnny Silverhand and explore parts of Night City in the year 2023. What's really fascinating here is that this isn't a separate map. They had just took out a couple of advertisements, they moved some walls around and made it look less futuristic. The devs even slapped a building in the middle of Kabuki to cover the iconic district statue. What's also interesting is that these buildings continue to exist even in the main game. If we fly up into the building that has the Atlantis, we see that the Atlantis is still there. It's just completely devoid of people. You can't really interact with anything and it's a little bit spooky, but it's all here. Another interesting one is Night City Hall, which you can normally only see during a brain dance sequence. There's a security guard who won't stop you from walking in the door, and if you proceed on through, then you'll run into the would-be assassin of the mayor, and there's the mayor himself. You can't attack or kill either of them, but you can explore around the room and find out that the Night City Council has a big messy stack of comic books underneath the desk. In fact, on the other side of the room, you'll find another stack of comic books. I don't know what it is about Night City Hall and comic books, but seems to be a problem they've all got. Speaking of comic books, looking around V's apartment, you find that there's a lot of literature. Comic books, fiction, non-fiction, and this one book called Kibble and Scott, which is supposed to be an expose on the food industry. As well as tons of pills, creatine, and other sorts of weird stuff. The main apartment menu lets you order drinks, drugs, and late-night company if you wanted. An interesting detail with the mirror of these UI elements that you can't actually interact with, as well as this little one that says that there's apparently 2 profiles for this apartment. And the stickers above the mirror are really cute and ridiculous, and I love them. Next fun set of details is out way past Rancho Coronado when you get out to this little fuel station in the middle of nowhere. Going inside, we find a convenience store that's what I would imagine a futuristic convenience store would be. The place is really dirty. That's alright, they're selling lots of cleaning products here, and here. There's also a newspaper pinned up on the wall, as well as this poster which contains one of the few instances of lorem ipsum placeholder text. The game does have other kinds of placeholder text. Many documents you come across will include poems or a list of affirmations or weirdly a bill of sale for a mango farm. That might be a reference to Red Dead Redemption 2.
Year is out. We are going to be harvesting mangoes in Tahiti.
You'd also see this book floating around a lot, which is Roche Bachmaster's Guide to the Net, which exists not only in the universe, but it's also one of the supplements for the Cyberpunk role-playing game. For this next bit, we're going to have to go up pretty far to find this building floating out in the middle of nowhere. The outside has no texture, and on the inside it looks like a school. This particular set piece is used in one of the braindance sequence in what is arguably the creepiest quest in the game.
This isn't normal behavior. Anthony, you killed Liam's turtle.
And while the blood-splattered masked cow is nowhere to be found, you can find tons of details around this area. You can find posters including one for Samurai, newspaper articles, lots of things on the wall, and graffiti that's on the table in the brain dance that you don't normally get a chance to look at. There's also a full bucket slice that includes lots of details, including a whole room that you can't go into. As a fun little side thing, all the plates are destructible and fully interactable, and I'm not really sure why that would be needed. Also, soda water barriers, one of my favourite little details in the map. This tiny little island. This island has every possible single ground texture all in one place. Speaking with someone that I know from CD Projekt Red, I was told that this little island was either used for testing vehicles going across different terrain, or was used a palette that the developers could use to sort of eye drop from while they're changing brushes and painting the terrain. Next thing I really want to talk about is verticality. During the development of the game and in pre-release marketing, there was a lot of talk about the verticality of the game, and you'd be able to scale buildings and do things at great heights. CD Projekt Red's Richard Borzamowski said as late as 2019 that verticality of the various buildings required major changes to the game engine, while the game's lead animator said the game would allow you to enter many buildings. Nothing is procedural in our world. It is in this that the city of Night City will be vast to go, thanks to the verticality of the game. And while there are certainly moments that take place in great heights, it's not a significant part of the game, but there's evidence of that being part of the design. There are all these fire escapes, and you see ramps and coverings that seem to indicate that they were meant to be climbed on and jumped on. Most of the time you can't access these fire escapes because of little panels have been added, but if you clip into them, you'll find that they do have full colliders and you can go up most of them. This one, for example, just ends in a metal grate at the top, but if it was to continue on, it would lead up to one of these walkways, which is perfectly walkable. And unfortunately, it leads nowhere. There are a lot of these all over Night City, and it's really a shame that they ended up not being used. This one in particular near these apartments is very blank and doesn't have anything including vents or anything else. And it gives me the impression that something was supposed to be here, but isn't anymore. It's also a really big shame because areas like these have some of the best views of Night City in the game. Often on rooftops, particularly near V's apartment, you'll find geometry that looks like it was meant to be climbed on. It's just the right height to grab on with a single or a double jump. And the top of it seems like an area that might provide you a good vista by which you can look around the game. There's also areas like this. You find a car sitting in a parking lot under a balcony, and if you look up, it gives the impression that you were supposed to climb up there. And in fact, if I get on top of that car, it's the perfect height to do so with a double jump. There's nothing up here, no doors, no NPCs, not even a vending machine. It still gives me the impression that this was a place that you were meant to explore. Another one that caught my eye is this area on a rooftop near the afterlife. This little area is used only in a very small part of a quest, but so near the edge of it there's this billboard that looks like you can jump over to it. And if you try, it doesn't have collision or you fall to your death, but if it didn't, it would lead up to this lovely walkway with some stairs and lots of details. It's got lots of walking space and doors, and it all seems very walkable, and if you go downstairs it just ends in a dead end. If you head upstairs it also ends in a dead end. This particular building is a type of prefab that's copy-pasted all over Night City. It comes in different colors and they all have the same kind of spaces where it looks like doors should be. And some of these prefabs are actually used as traversable areas in the game. This one over here caught my eye because it seemed to be sort of jammed on top of another building in order to fill some space. Speaking of visual filler, I came across a lot of rooftops that had stuff like this: chairs, tables, umbrellas, plants. It's visually stimulating, but it doesn't actually get used in the game as a place that you can explore. It's really nice, and it looks like something that could have been a part of a quest, but as far as I know, it's never used. This building here is kind of similar. You have this helipad and some box plants that either someone's taken care of or they're just, fake. It's a really one-note area that doesn't seem to matter anywhere. Closer to city center, I got another clue. I went on top of some buildings and I saw some bits like these that looked like they were maybe jammed together haphazardly, like sort of at the last minute. There's a billboard that's stuck here without really caring what's on the other side, and I started to realize that there's a lot of low-poly geometry here. And I suddenly had a realization. It's not meant to be interacted with, it's meant to be seen. But to understand where it's meant to be seen, we're going to have to go all the way back to V's apartment and go to the window. This vista, this one point where you can look out at the city during the day and during the night, all the places we've been to have all been visible from this window. It's meant to be inviting. It's meant to tell you that this city is sprawled out in front of you for you to explore. It's been waiting for you this whole time, and now all you've got to do is go out of your apartment and explore it. If there's an interesting thing in Cyberpunk that you've come across and you don't know what it is, and you might want me to go and explore a little bit, I'd love to. Maybe a little location that you think is interesting, some detail you ran across during a playthrough. Please drop it in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more adventures behind the scenes of your favourite games. Well, that's another mystery shelled, so it's back to the pantry. I've been your host, Robbie Lagoon. Cheers and happy digging.